we can't clean up our past and live in the present moment and plan for the future and do all of that all at the same time. Why? Because we're tired. We're exhausted. We're redlining. You can't continue to keep increasing the top line. More income, more bonuses, more tax returns, more inheritance, more gifting from parents, blah, 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 blah. Wherever it is that more money comes from, I want to point out to you that more is what I'll call your masculine energy. What's going on, everybody? Julie Murphy here. After 25 years plus being a financial planner, I have learned a number of things, and one of the biggest ones is that debt is your distraction. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, subscribe, and like, because I am here to get you to a life that you absolutely love. And so, what am I talking about when it comes to debt? Okay, so I always talk about the fact that we have our money in what I'll call 3 different timelines. We have our financial past, then there's your money in the present moment, and then there's your financial future. So most financial professionals out there will talk to you about your financial future, and they won't even talk about your whole future. They're just going to talk to you about your midterm investments, which could be like college funding or building up assets in a stock portfolio or whatever, and your long term, which is all your retirement. And many people just default to retirement because they don't have enough to plan for the future on that because they're still stuck in their financial past. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about the fact that debt is our distraction to our dreams, from living our dreams. Because what happens is that when you have your paycheck or your income going into your checking account every single month, right? It's going in, and this is your present moment, your financials in your present moment. And money's coming into your checking account, and then it's going out for your expenses. So what we've created is that in the present moment, we're paying for all of our past choices. And that's the challenge, because we can't clean up our past and live in the present moment and plan for the future and do all of that all at the same time. Why? Because we're tired. We're exhausted. We're redlining. You can't continue to keep increasing the top line. More income, more bonuses, more tax returns, more inheritance, more gifting from parents, blah, 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 blah. Wherever it is that more money comes from, I want to point out to you that more is what I'll call your masculine energy, okay? Those of you who have watched my videos before know that I always talk about that money is energy. Einstein proved E equals MC squared, that everything is energy, your money included, all right? So when we're looking at money being energy, and if the money energy coming into today is paying for yesterday, that jams you up today, and it certainly doesn't create space for you to create the tomorrow that you really desire. And we're all tired because us human beings, we all have masculine and feminine energies. And what do I mean by that? So masculine energies are those of doing, competition. You're more fear-based, the negative sides of the masculine energy. Where the feminine energy is more being, more accepting, allowing, collaborating instead of competing, love versus fear. We're being in our feminine energy versus doing. And the doing button, as we continue to experience more in this post-pandemic or during pandemic timeframe, we are hitting our tilt button on the more. So trying to just generate more to pay for everything actually just keeps us on the suffering cycle, hamster wheel of life. And so our debt, if you think about it, debt is a way to control the masses. And it controls you out of living your life from a place of freedom. I believe that we've created these debts as a distraction from actually feeling what it is that we have this lack of wholeness from our childhood. So if you've watched many of my videos, I talk about the fact that biologists like Dr. Bruce Lipton, he wrote a book called The Biology of Belief. He talks about the fact that scientists now know that over 95% of our response comes from our subconscious mind, not our conscious mind. And our subconscious mind is fully developed by the time we're 7 years old. So we have to go in there and get that patterning changed. So what happens when we have this trauma or rejection before we're 7 years old? We then try to act out our needs that were not met when we were a younger child. And so the question is what is that unmet need that you have that has created your death scenarios? Do you feel like you're not enough and you're feeling like, okay, well, if I got the bigger house, the bigger mortgage, I'm enough because I'm in that neighborhood and I got the car that everyone's got and I've got the mortgage to prove it. And I want you to get into the why. What is your motivator? If you look at all the debt instruments that you have, and financial professionals will argue with me all day long going, well, interest rates are really low right now and you should just have that debt because I can pay out, 2.75 on my mortgage and I get a tax deduction on that and I can reinvest the difference and make what the stock market has made over the last few years. There's lots of those arguments out there. But I am here to tell you that if you're buying those things on debt, ask yourself, what am I trying to emotionally avoid in that moment? And how do you then bring consciousness and awareness to it so that you don't create a spending hangover? Now, I've helped clients create a couple systems and processes to try to avoid that. So like for an example, let's just say you get out of your car payment and it's done and you paid $500 a month for it, $400 a month, whatever the number is. Don't have that now be consumed to pay for more things for your future. Now, there may be things that are real in your life that you have to address, but I would highly suggest the majority, if not all, of that $500 a month payment that you were paying on your car start to become your own bank. Because I know for a fact when you hand over five $100 bills for something, you will think twice before you slide that credit card or where its car payment is automatically drafted out of your checking account. We operate differently when we become our own bank and when we feel like internally like it's our own cash. Granted, it's still coming from your paycheck to whether you're paying off a loan or you're paying off something else. But I'm here to tell you that you will make different decisions because I've watched this happen for years with people when it's actually your money going to pay for that car. You're going to make different decisions because you're not trying to satisfy some unmet need that you have from your childhood. Now, that could be the case for student loans. That could be the case for a house. It could be the case for your car or your credit cards. And there's lots of tips and tools that I've given on other videos. So please go check them out on YouTube that you can shift ways to trick yourself into getting out of your financial pattern. So you stop creating this financial past and keep distracting yourself from healing what really is actually coming up. Every time you take out a debt, it's an opportunity for what is unresolved emotionally inside of you to get to a solution. And love yourself enough to do that because I know that you deserve that and I know that you can do it. And it is time for us to create financial space for ourselves so that we can be more nimble to changing our job or making different choices. But if we continue to choose to not have freedom, because that's what debt does, debt creates a lack of freedom for yourself, that you're going to continue to create a life that has suffering patterns in it because you're not choosing your freedom. Freedom to choose to create whatever it is that you want to create in your life without having to think about all your past choices, which most of us know we like some of those choices, and there's definitely choices that we don't like so much. So again, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like, and hit that notification bell because I am here to get you to a life that you absolutely love because you deserve it. Thanks, everybody. Bye.